Hi everybody, it's CraftyRia. Welcome to my first crafty video. I bought some supplies from Echo Park when they were on sale for $1. These cut-aparts. They were two 12 by 12 sheets, and these are what I have left over. I think these 4 I'll use for journaling spots, but I'm going to make cards with these 3. But I made a whole stack of cards with the other ones. So I'm going to show you those first, and then I'll show you what I used for them. I have these. I used some rickrack from my stash, some big gold rickrack, and then this is ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I got a whole spool of this ribbon. It was in the Halloween section, and it's nice and thin. And it's glittery, and a little bit of the glitter comes off, but not too bad. But it's not bad for this whole 12-foot roll for $1, and I used it on a lot of these cards. And I also have it in gold, and this was in the Christmas section. And again, it's 12 feet, and it was a whole $1 for that roll. So these are the 3 cards that I made with this. They also, Echo Park also had these stickers on sale. Of course, they were full. Now they're empty. But, and I used them on a lot of the cards. So you'll see a lot of these little epoxy stickers on the cards that I used as well. So those 3. And then I have these that I did. And here I used this gold ribbon. And I used a lot of paper from my stash. A lot of it's die cuts with a view that I've had in there for years probably. And then these have this gold ribbon. And then I have these guys. And here I used either the gold or the orange ribbon. And then I had this ribbon in my stash that I thought went perfectly with some of the colors. This is American Crafts Elements, and I just layered it on top and made those borders. So I have those, and then I have these, and again this is more of that American Crafts Elements ribbon. I think I got this ribbon on clearance at Big Lots several years ago, but I've had it a long time, both of these kinds. Oops. So I have those guys. And then I have those, which I used this green ribbon from my stash. This was one of the pieces that I just cut out with a die cut. And I put some of the epoxy stickers on there and on that as well. This background is embossed, and I got the embossing folder at the Echo Park $1 sale as well. And then these I think are pretty awesome. And for this ribbon here, I also got it at the Dollar Tree. It is 3 yards. And it's really thick, and it holds its shape, but these little sequins come off, so you have to kind of be careful. But I thought it would be really fun to use on these cards. And again, I have some of the epoxy shapes on these. This was blank, and this Thankful was an epoxy shape that I put in the middle. Here's more of that other of this ribbon on that one. And you can probably hear my bird. He wants to give his 2 cents worth. His name is Crichton, and he's an African gray. And he's just a little crazy. So I thought, instead of just showing you all of these cards, how about we make a couple? And I'll show you kind of how I work with this stuff, because it's not always so easy to work with. But it's really pretty, and if you have a Dollar Tree and you want to spruce up your cards, I suggest getting a roll of that. It's really kind of cool. All right, so I have some of my supplies already ready. I have a couple of card bases. This is just 8.5 by 11 cut in half, to make a 5.5 by 4 1/4 card. And I went through my scraps and I picked some papers that I thought I would like to use with the owl. That as a background. I think that's Die Cuts with a View. And then this is has a little bit of a glimmer to it. I thought it would be really good to mat the owl in that. And then these, I don't know where this came from. I think it's origami paper, but it might be handmade paper. They were in my stash for I don't know how many years, so I thought it would go pretty. And I want to try to use up some stuff from my stash. And then I thought I would use this one and do one of my favorite things. I love to recycle greeting cards. So here is the back of a greeting card. And I don't know who Annette and Gary are. A lot of my friends save me their cards. And this was the back of a Christmas card. But that's so pretty, I hate to just throw it away. So I thought I would mat this with it. I would put it over that so you can't see it, and then use this as the background paper. All right, so let's get started. I think we'll do this one first, and we'll see how much time we have left, and then we'll do this one. Okay, so I know that I want to mat this with this, so I always cut it 1/4 inch shorter. So I'm going to cut it 5 1/4 by 4, and you may not be able to see this whole thing. I always keep my tonic guillotine cutter on my table right here, so it's always handy and ready to go and never in my way. So I have that, which will be the mat like that. And then for this, I have to be a little more careful because I don't want to cut it out of the corner, obviously. I want to cut it over that. So I'm going to stick it on here first. Of course, and my thing doesn't always work. If you guys know why this does this, it always, when I start using it after not using it for a long time, it wraps itself around this piece. And it's done that for years, and I don't know why. But once I get it off of there, it works fine. Or it's going to call me a liar now. Hang on. Let's try this again. All right. It's stuck to my fingers. Okay. Let's try this again here. All right. There we go. See? All of us video makers are not perfect. I don't know why it's not working so well now. It's probably because it knows it's being filmed. Okay. So I'm going to put it on here. And then I will cut it just so there's a little bit of a border all the way around. And my bird can make the exact sound of my cutter. He has learned this. I don't know if you can hear him in the background, but it is pretty funny. Okay. So I have that. And it is kind of plain just like that. So I thought I would use this behind it. And I've pretty much done the same thing for a lot of the cards. It makes it easy when you're making a whole bunch. So I cut it a little bit bigger, and then you can see the little sequins fly around, but don't worry. Kind of get an idea of where this is going to be, and then I just run a couple pieces of this over the front. You don't have to be perfect. Line this up like that and push it down, and then I fold it over, and the edges of this have like a wire in them, and they bend over real easy and lay nice and flat. I tried securing this with double-sided tape, and it ended up being a mess, so I just go the old-fashioned way and get out some Scotch tape, and I cover it pretty completely. There might be a better way to do this, but I've experimented quite a bit. As you can see, I've used it on quite a few cards, and I have found that Scotch tape is probably the best. And my little scissors. I went crazy with the tape here. Okay. And these little pieces stick off the edge, and I don't really mind that at all. There we go, my tape runner is running a little bit better now. If you guys know why it does that, or know a way for me to get it to not do that, please leave a comment below. I would love to know how to get it to not do that. It only does it after it's sat a while. And a tip for when I line my paper up like this, I look at the bottom corner here and the top corner here, because I'm just eyeballing it, and I just want to kind of make sure that they look pretty even to me. So I'm looking at this piece and this piece, because if you look at this and this, the whole thing will line up. And it works pretty good. I'm going to put that. I have these sticky dots that I found in this big roll at the Dollar Tree. You get the whole roll for $1. So I thought that was kind of neat. And in my Dollar Tree, it was in the hardware section. They have some other ones there in the hardware section in the shape of circles and bigger squares. The more typical ones you'd find for crafting. But I don't know why they have them in the hardware section, but that's where they are in my Dollar Tree. And just peel the backing off. I thought maybe while I'm quiet my bird would talk to you, but he's not. And I have the door closed between me and him, so you might not be able to hear him. He is kind of crazy. Maybe the next video I'll leave the door open so he can talk to you. He would like that. And then there you go. There's one card done. It doesn't take very long. As my dear friend May would say, you let the paper do the work. And if you have these cut-aparts with that paper, you might as well use that. And then this is a real easy way to add an awesome embellishment to the card. Okay, so let's do this one. So kind of what I'm thinking is I will cut this to fit. I think it would go good that way, and I'm going to just cut this section to be right about 4 inches there. It's kind of neat when it works out on its own and I don't have to work hard and cut it. I'm going to trim some of the orange off of this because when I mat it, it's not going to be big enough to show on this. I'm not sure how I want to do this yet. I'm going to cut this down a little bit though. Okay. And then I'm going to mat it on here. I think these Echo Park papers are from last year's releases, but for $1 a page. They may have even been less than $1. I think they might have been 67 cents. All right. And then I'm going to just kind of eyeball that corner so I have pretty much the same on each side. And I always cut this way first so I have a larger piece to save for later because I don't like to throw things away. And I just eyeball it. And if I think I don't get enough off, I can always go and cut more. It's really easy with the guillotine cutter. All right, so I have this. I might do it kind of like that. And I think I like the orange. So what I'm going to do first to make sure everything lines up perfectly, I am going to put this on here. And here's another tip what I do. When you have a really soft piece of paper and not a hard piece of cardstock, I hold it down in this top corner and then pull that away from me. And the same here. You don't always get right up to the corner. But then see, when I come this way, it will do that. And actually I'm making it too long, so I better put a piece here. And I didn't do it right. Okay. And a piece here. Of course, I'm fighting with my tape runner today. Going to kind of eyeball this. You can't see my face. I'm probably sticking my tongue out. All right, so I have that. And then I'm going to cut off that excess in my paper trimmer. I don't know if that piece was actually straight to begin with. Oh shoot, and I wanted to put this on it, on just that little piece, but I didn't, so I'm going to put it over the whole thing. I was going to just wrap it on there, but I've already glued it on, so I can't really do that. So think ahead, and this works really good for ribbon as well. And it has a little bit of glitter that gets all over, but once you make the card, I think you've pretty much gotten all the extra glitter off. So your recipient won't be bothered by it as much. All right, so that. And again, I'm going to line up that bottom left and top right corner because that's just how I do it. And then the whole thing goes on kind of straight. And since I don't have the ribbon under it, I can do this like this and make it a flat card. Sometimes I like really flat cards to mail because I mail things in them to my recipient, and that way the envelope will not be too bulky. Some of my friends that get mail from me knows what I'm talking about. There's stuff inside of them. But since that ribbon, or that glittery ribbon, already has some dimension, I didn't mind adding a little bit more. And it wouldn't lay flat on it anyway. So that's kind of pretty simple. I'm not sure what if I want to add something to this. I think I like this round one. It says thankful and blessed at the bottom. Push that on real hard just so it gives it some kind of a a thing. And then I have that one. I don't know if I want to add something to this one. I really like that happy fall, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this one. No, I don't think any of these are doing it for me. And I really like that, but that would look probably silly with that together. I think I'll put the leaf down here. Put this leaf, and then there's a couple of these little flowers that I could put with it. Just to add a little something on there. And I'm going to add one of these flowers to the center of that flower. All right. Well, there you go. Here's the 2 cards I made in just a couple of minutes time. And then all of these other ones. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe and please give me a thumbs up. It's my first video. It would make me really happy if I got some thumbs up. And please leave your comments below. Let me know some things that you want to see or some things you'd like me to do. I'll be happy to try to come up with a video for you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.